Really dogs make you laugh. Good afternoon, everybody. It's me, the media guy here. Today I'm here to share my thoughts on Lady and the Tramp. And yes, before we continue on with this video, if you guys saw sorry for the stuttering. If you guys saw part 16 of the home media jackpot video I posted yesterday, you would know that this was one of many new VHS tapes that I got. Except for one thing. I already had a VHS copy of Lady and the Tramp. And granted, I don't know how I forgot. I guess after owning so many VHS tapes and DVDs over the years, it'll be kind of hard to keep track of what I already have or not. And I still feel a little bit silly about it. So I don't know if I should keep both VHS copies of Lady and the Tramp or give one of them away to the nearest thrift store or something. So yeah, I don't know. I probably already made a community post explaining why. But anyways, aside from that, I did watch this for the very first time. You might be wondering what it's about. Generations of fans have fallen in love with Walt Disney's 15th animated masterpiece. An irresistible, song-filled adventure about Lady, a lovingly pampered Cocker Spaniel, and Tramp, also known as Butch, a rough and mud from across the tracks. As one of Disney's most delightful captivating classics. Sorry for the stuttering. Lady and the Tramp has earned praise as a marvel of animation, according to the Chicago Daily News. When Aunt Sarah moves in with her devious felines, Cy and Am, to babysit, the very protective lady finds herself being fitted for the unthinkable, a muzzle. So in a nutshell, Cy and Em were just messing around with Lady and trying to frame her for something she didn't even do. In her bid for freedom, she meets and is charmed by Tramp, dog about town. Together with friends Jock, Trusty, and Peg, they share thrilling adventures on a lovely Bella Notte, as Lady learns what it means to be fully loose and leash-free. Now the exquisite Disney animation, memorable music, and happiest of endings are available for the first time in the fully restored format, never before seen on video. You know, I can see why this is like a classic compared to other Disney movies that came before and after this one, like Snow White, The Sword and the Stone, Lilo and Stitch, Robin Hood, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Tarzan, and so many more. Still has some great animation, great songs, great characters. Considering how I'm more of a dog person, since some of my family members and friends have dogs, this feels right at home to any dog lovers out there. Like when we were first introduced to Lady as a pup, she looks so adorable. Yeah, I guess on the back of the VHS, she is revealed to be a Cocker Spaniel. Which in my opinion is the type of dog breed I'm not familiar with until watching this movie or reading the description of the video. Yeah, right here. No, I'm not particularly sure what type of dog Butch, aka the Tramp, is supposed to be. Just let me know down in the comments below. Man, something about Sai and Am, the cats, are just so menacing. And yeah, despite the fact that even though they don't have that much screen time in this movie, the way they were trying to cause a little bit of mischief in the house while trying to frame Lady for it does seem a little bit cruel in my opinion. And I honestly don't blame Lady for being framed for something she didn't even do. Man, don't you just hate it when the main character gets framed for something he, or they didn't even do, or even aware of until much later on? Sometimes I often hate that type of cliche, the old frame-up. Even though, to be fair, that cliche isn't really a bad idea, in my opinion. I mean, there is Who Framed Roger Rabbit, for example. But that's besides the point, I actually find this to be quite romantic. Seeing Lady and the Tramp spend some quality time together in the movie is just so heartwarming and sweet. Yeah, their chemistry is quite adorable. Even if Lady has to get used to being collar-free. Even though the Tramp has went through this type of experience a lot longer. Oh, it is nice to see that Lady would often try to protect a human baby from a rat that entered his room. Oh boy. And at first Aunt Sarah thought that Lady and the Tramp were actually trying to hurt the baby. Boy, talk about a big misunderstanding. It got so out of control that the Tramp even had to go to his local dog pound for it. And it is up to Lady and the rest of the dogs to clear up the whole situation about how these two were only trying to protect the baby from the rat. I'm still glad that misunderstanding got cleared up. And again, even though I guess this movie also has more than one villain. I'm guessing that Rat would want to, scare the daylights out of the poor kid. And even if that rat didn't make much of an appearance, it's nice to see these two dogs trying to protect the baby from certain danger. I guess the dogs are like family to him. Although, granted, the movie never explained what the boy's name is. But I'm probably gonna call him James. Yeah, I'm glad baby James is safe and from that little dirty rat. And yeah, I know that his parents didn't actually say what his name is, but I'm still gonna call him James no matter what. So anyway, despite the fact that I already had a VHS copy of Lady and the Tramp, I can still see how and why it continues to be a great Disney movie. Now, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against the other Disney movies that came up before and after this one, but I still think this one is a nice addition to the Disney collection. And yeah, I know that right now that Disney is still going through a lot of weird and rough patches since late 2022 or something. But you know what? I'd rather not think about modern Disney that much and I'll just focus on old school Disney cartoons. Mainly the old school movies and animated TV shows back in the 80s to the early 2000s. So I'm guessing that's like your guys' childhood to old school Disney cartoons. And that's totally understandable. You know, I'm surprised that the characters from Lady and the Tramp aren't like meeting great characters in all the Disney theme parks compared to other Disney characters like Mickey Mouse and his friends, Lilo and Stitch, Tarzan, Snow White, and so many more, including some of our favorite including some of our favorite Pixar characters like the Toy Story gang, Mike and Sully, and so many more. But at least the characters from the Lady and the Tramp would often make a few appearances in Disney's House of Mouse and Disney's Once Upon a Studio short film. And there's even a sequel called Lady and the Tramp 2 Scrap's Adventure, if I'm correct. So I'm guessing this movie had a very interesting legacy. So anyways, since Lady and the Tramp is still a fantastic Disney movie, I'll give this movie 5 Italian dog bones out of 5. So do you guys have any fond memories of this movie? Just feel free to let me know down in the comments below. And who knows, maybe someday I might do like a second look, aka revisit edition treatment. Maybe someday I might do a revisit edition review of Lady and the Tramp someday. So anyways, thanks again for checking out this video. And don't forget, I'll be reviewing Batman Returns tomorrow.